But, you know, what the Democrats are saying to the gay people sounds so much like what people have always said to me about marijuana, which is, Bill, what do you care so much if marijuana is legal or not? You can always go outside the restaurant after dinner and smoke your pot in the alley. I've seen you do it 100 times. And that's like what the Democrats are saying. What do you care if we call it civil unions? You get most of the same benefits. And my answer to both is, fuck you. Fuck you. You go outside after dinner and drink your brandy in the alley. You call whatever's going on under your roof a civil union. Either we're all drinking from the same water fountain in this country or we're not. Now, some people are just born 100% Will and Grace, Over the Rainbow, Pottery Barn, Fire Island gay. And they don't need reprogramming. They need a man with a slow hand. I just think it is ridiculous that gay people should have to interrupt their lives to fight this battle, especially at a time when we're supposed to be teaching the world a lesson about freedom. Remember that? They hate us for our freedom. They hate us for our freedom. What happened to that? They hate us for our freedom. Hey. You know what my message is to the terrorists? Hate the Dutch, okay? I've been to Amsterdam. If freedom is what really bugs you so much, go scare the shit out of those pot-smoking, whoremongering motherfuckers. Well, seriously, does anything make people do stupider things than religion? The Supreme Court this year heard the case about the 10 Commandments. This is my favorite of the last couple of years about religion. Because, you know, one of the 10 Commandments says, don't worship statues. So in Alabama, they made a statue of the 10 Commandments and worshipped it. Wow, that's powerful stupid. I mean, that is seriously powerful. And again, I'm not making it up, I'm just reporting. And of course, besides the fact that you shouldn't drag the 10 Commandments in front of your courthouse because it might show you're a little prejudicial to one religion, did anyone notice that among the 10 Commandments, hardly any of them are laws? If anything doesn't belong in front of a courthouse, it should be the 10 Commandments. They're not laws. Don't curse, not a law. Honor your mom and dad, not a law. Take Sunday off, not a law. Don't fuck around on your wife, not a law. Although you can get impeached for that one. And don't worship statues, not a law. And also, obviously, not understood in many parts of the country. Now, only 2 of the commandments are laws. Don't steal and don't kill. Now, couldn't we all have just gotten together and agreed on that without all the bells and whistles? Couldn't we have just gotten together and said, look, I won't slaughter you and don't take my shit. You know, no, I gotta get that from a burning bush. I gotta get that from a burning bush, unless I see that in a bush. It's just, you know, the comedy gods are smiling on me today because I have been saying for the longest time that President Bush must set a timetable for removing his head from his ass. And by God, today they went in and looked for it. They actually went in and looked for it today, and they didn't find it. So now we don't know where it is. I kid, George Bush, with love. I hope that comes through. Because when it comes to standing on rubble and making speeches in front of trees and hugging black kids, he's the best. He is. And praying. America. I swear to God, what a country. The way we have a disaster, whenever there's a disaster, Bush shows up and says, I'm going to pray And people go, well, he's on it. We got this covered because he's praying, which is nearly as good as hoping it were so. If anything characterizes this Bush administration, it's that. The idea that we're the good people from the get-go. That's a known fact, you know? We love Jesus and fuck our wives. We're the good people. So whatever we have to do to stay in power, steal elections, tap your phones, politicize the Justice Department, that's justified because we're the real Americans. George Bush said he looked into Vladimir Putin's eyes, you know this, and saw his soul. Exactly. Now, of all the people in the world who couldn't do this, I would have to say George Bush, top of my list. I mean, and of all the people you couldn't do this to, Vladimir Putin. I looked into his eyes, I saw Lucifer. I saw black pools of ex-KGB deadness. But George Bush, God bless him, looked and... See, that's the problem with religious people like George Bush. They think they have powers that the rest of us don't have. That's why George Bush never thought he needed to learn or read about Iraq, because he prayed. He prayed to Santa Jesus. Yeah, because the conservatives don't really care about educating your children. What they care about is that teenagers don't fuck. Which is an easy goal, because teenagers aren't horny, you know. But yes, they've spent billions of your tax dollars to start abstinence clubs in the high schools. Making the kids take the abstinence pledge, the big pledge. And of course, they make them do this with a big lie. Because they tell them, you know what, the only way to really be safe is not to have sex at all, because condoms, ooh, very unreliable. Condoms break all the time. Okay, I've been using these things for 35 years. I've never had one condom break. Either I'm the luckiest son of a bitch who ever was, and I'm not, or this is the most reliable product since the toaster. But... But you know what? The abstinence pledge program didn't work anyway. Listen to this. They found out that among the high school girls who took the abstinence pledge, they are 6 times more likely to be engaging in oral sex. And 4 times more likely anal. I love this. I love this. The Republicans have managed to create an entire generation of apple-cheeked young girls saying to their boyfriends, oh no, I'm saving myself for Mr. Right. Fuck me in the ass. Go ahead. Just pump me like the piston on an old iron train. I love it. I kid the Republicans. I hope I'm not piling on. If this country wasn't really so sexually repressed, why would there be so much perversion? For example, Michael Jackson. Now, I'm not defending what he did, if he did it, but you know what? Even Michael Jackson's worst accusers never said that he bent them over a table and, you know, Catholic shit. No. No. And then they blame the breakup of the family on gay marriage. Although I guess not anymore. That was the big wedge issue of 2004. The big fear-driven bogeyman was gay marriage. Senator Rick Santorum said that gay marriage was a slippery slope to bestiality.